r/AskReddit. Which video game would you consider a piece of art and why? The classic answer and GOAT for me is Final Fantasy VI. Every character in that game has a great story, the world is fantastic and drastically changes throughout the game, and the music is fantastic. The best answer I have in recent history is easily Ori and the Blind Forest. That game is freaking incredible in every sense and blew me away in terms of looks, music, and gameplay at every single turn. Firewatch. It's such a beautiful game. And it draws you in and makes you feel things. It's exciting and cathartic. It's sad and bittersweet. It plays with your head and your expectations and then throws them to the ground. What more can I say? It's a work of art. Ooh, have you ever had a dream and when you wake up you get this profound sense of loss? That's how this game made me feel. To the moon. The graphics certainly leave much to be desired, but I don't think any video game has had a story told so well, succinctly, and had such a fantastic ending, which is both good and bad, while also having questions about the morality of messing with the human consciousness. All around a fantastic 3-hour, basically visual novel. I highly recommend picking it up, but I would also suggest going in as blind as possible, and playing the game through all the way in one sitting. Minecraft. In some ways it's so much less of a game and so much more of a tool, like Photoshop or MS Paint. It allows others to build whatever they can imagine. Massive castles to sprawling underground mine shafts. Futuristic floating islands and fully automated farms to achieve every resource possible. It devotes its story to the player, and that's its best aspect. Sonic 3 and Amp, Knuckles. A substantial platforming game that's not just rearranged floating blocks, a simple story told through gameplay and small seamless cutscenes with no text, yet it immediately and universally understood. Levels connect seamlessly. And an amazing soundtrack to boot. Not very artsy, but in terms of art that can exclusively exist as a video game, Sonic 3 and Amp K is one of the earliest and one of my personal favorites in that regard. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, hands down. Beautiful graphics at the time, most of the galaxies were noticeably different, an amazing soundtrack and throwbacks to the first game if you made it to the special world in SMG2. Also, after you've defeated Bowser, the game doesn't stop and gives you more challenges like the green stars. In Donkey's words, a masterpiece. The story to Titanfall 2. BB-8 is a great character scene. He is a robot. The villains can be creepy and all have very different personalities. In one level you get to go through time and the way they set it up was amazing. Also through the game BB picks up the main guy's lingo. I left out a bunch of other stuff, but one of my favorite games. 10/10 will recommend. Final Fantasy X. You're a dream, Titus. You live in a dream world, and in reality, your father is sin and the teachings are a ploy against naive and innocent people. To save the world, you must forget the matrix that you knew, and embrace the reality that you'll never truly embrace, not for long anyways. Great game. Introduced me to stoicism, which I'll forever be grateful for. Detroit, Become Human. The animation and graphics are stunning, the philosophy and plotline of the game are intriguing and thought-provoking, the music is absolutely stellar, the main characters have stories I'm invested in, and more. I've watched playthrough of this game over and over and I continue to become panicky when you have to get Alice and Kara to hide, or other tense moments. Almost everything about this game is wonderful and thought out. It's truly a remarkable creation. Here's a list of my games. Ace Attorney/Phoenix Wright, all of them, because of its music and creative way to get children into law. The Halo games, because it's the Freakin' Master Chief. Also the music is phenomenal. Minecraft, because it's the embodiment of my childhood and its music is so ambient. While I consider all games a form of art, I think these ones take the cake. Take the Spotify cheese. Red Dead Redemption, both of them. The Witcher 3. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. There's more, but I can't cover all of them. These are games that have resonated with me, left an impact long after finishing them. They have helped alter my perception of the world, and they have most importantly, left an emotional impact upon me. And really, if that isn't art, I don't know what is. The Fallout series. Lots of profound messages about humanity, war, and the apocalypse. There is no series quite like Fallout. There is a lot of social and political commentary, and I love the dark but somewhat light-hearted feel of the Fallout series. There are also many small details in those games, like the magazines, and the propaganda posters that really show how screwed up the Fallout world was getting. One of the best game series of all time. Fez. The aesthetic is so good in this game. I know some people play a few minutes and go, frick, this game sucks, but it feels like a playable version of getting lost in my own head. I am absolutely in love with this game, the mystery behind the puzzles, the core mechanic, the music, disaster piece is amazing, and just the peaceful nature of it being a lone quest. Batman, Arkham City. It's such a classic representation of Batman with the score, the story building, the many characters and various references to Batman lore, and it plays like something out of the comic books. You can feel how dark and foreboding Arkham City is between every alley and dilapidated street. The Mr. Freeze boss scene gets talked up a lot, and I agree, but a lot of the other missions you can do will thrill you, like the Jaws phone missions, or Penguin's Shark Under the Ice task. Dark Souls. Any of them, even the second one. The oppressive atmosphere, the feel of a kingdom long lost and in ruins, the overwhelming adversity that makes you feel like an ant about to be crushed by the boots of an army. The lack of music in the majority of gameplay. The titanic boss fights, except Pinwheel lol, that kick your ass around the arena for hours, sometimes days, before you finally figure out how to beat them and feel on top of the world. I could go on. I vote Worms Armageddon for best art in 2D. The regular game maps are customizable with a million graphic options, and you could also use other programs to make maps to import. You could make your own flags and even animated worm graves. All the weapons were so different and unique, from flying sheep to concrete donkeys. Man, now I just really want to play it again. So many titles deserving of this because they commandeer a specific element of gaming and beautify it, i.e. Journey, Hyper Light Drifter, Celeste. One that really did it for me was Last of Us. Yay, sure, the game looked real good, like, really good. But what got me was the narrative and how they used certain mechanics to enforce real human emotions on me. There were plenty of moments where I paused to just soak in what happened. Can't say that for many other games out there. Horizon Zero Dawn. The scenery is so beautiful, the characters are well done, and the gameplay is new ABBR fun. The world though and the story around it are amazing, so many layers. You peel back dark layer after layer, going into the bleaker recesses of human greed and malevolence. Yet in the process it turns into something hopeful of a beautiful. Plus Aloy is awesome. A game is itself an art form. Even if it's a crappy game made for training or something, the decisions made in order to achieve that goal don't always have the most clear path. You have to guess a little, and it's a fine line between a great game and a bad game. Even the most low-budget, simple games can be incredibly fun if well designed. And highly produced games can be terrible, so it's not like money spent equals game quality. That's what makes it an art form. Paper Mario, The Thousand-Year Door. It's the only PM game I played, but it was amazing when I was younger. The storyline, the characters with their own side stories, the large amount of enemies to defeat, the badges, items, side quests, mini-games, witty humor, and the difficulty that matches with your progression as you play through the game. It was a long game, but I would do anything to play it with zero knowledge of the game. What Remains of Edith Finch. It's a story about you playing as Edith Finch, the last survivor of the Finch family, and she goes through her old house discovering all the secrets of how her family died. All of them have really deep stories to them, and especially the ending is really good. It really makes you think about what everything really is and generally how much we underappreciate everything. I love it. Art is such a nebulous term that one could consider all games art. In the interest of not sounding like a smartass, I'm gonna narrow the definition to something that the creators put a lot of love into and closely followed response from fans for. With that in mind, I'd say DMC5. The game feels so good to play, is friendly to beginners but has a high skill ceiling, has a lot of polish in every layer of the game, and puts every photorealistic game to shame. Putin vs. ISIS. This game is pure art. I can't explain how good it is. The graphics are amazing and is super realistic, not to mention the amazing physics. THR game offers tons of variation and I have a solid 2000 HOURS on it. It is never boring. The game is about Putin vs. ISIS. You play as Putin and kill ISIS. It is the best game. Check it out on Steam, you won't regret it. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. It's got a wonderful art style, great sound, a unique play style and a short but wonderful and truly sad story that had me welling up, and I'm in my 30s. Also, The Witness. Not really a story but there is one there and you can uncover it. Again, the art style is beautiful and unique and the game just stays with you in a really gentle but heartfelt way. The Game Journey for the PS3. For those unfamiliar, you're basically a hooded traveler going through a desert to a mountain. Why? We just don't know. The story is told vague pictographs at certain parts of the game and it is up to interpretation what happened. The music is phenomenal, the gameplay is awesome and floaty, and the first time I played it I was rendered to tears. It was a beautiful experience. The First Evil Within. Unique and gritty aesthetic, beautiful and horrific monster designs, the areas look fantastic, the textures and graphics in general were ahead of their time. The detective outfits, the industrial soundtrack with Claire de Lune as the safe room theme. Love it, and after playing 50+ games in the past 3 years I still haven't found something as wholly unique to me. Thanks for watching this auto-generated video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I upload videos like this one daily. I put a lot of time into developing this video generator, but if there have been errors, please tell me in the comments below. Also leave me a link to another thread you would like to see a video about. Have a great day, Alex.